Is the next thing, then, to describe the ones who are less good, the lover of victory and honour, who corresponds to the Spartan regime, and then in turn the oligarchic character, the democratic, and the tyrannical. That way we can contrast the most unjust, when we find him, with the most just. Our investigation into how pure justice fares relative to pure injustice, in terms of the happiness or wretchedness of the person who possesses it, will be complete. And we can either follow Thrasymachus's advice and pursue injustice, of how we find and among the Greeks are all intermediate between the forms I have mentioned. Yes, he said, we certainly do hear about plenty of extraordinary regimes. Well then, are you aware that for individuals also there must necessarily be as many kinds of character as there are kinds of regime? Or do you think that regimes somehow come into being from oak or stone? Isn't it rather from the characters of people in the city which tip the scale, as it were, taking the rest with them? No, I think it's entirely the character of the inhabitants. In which case, if there are 5 types of city, then for individuals there will likewise be 5 dispositions of the soul. Of course. Well, we have finished describing the person who resembles aristocracy, and we say quite rightly that he is good and just. Yes, we have described him. Is the next thing, then, to describe the ones who are less good, the lover of victory and honour, who corresponds to the Spartan regime, and then in turn the oligarchic character, the democratic, and the tyrannical. That way we can contrast the most unjust, when we find him, with the most just. Our investigation into how pure justice fares relative to pure injustice, in terms of the happiness or wretchedness of the person who possesses it, will be complete. And we can either follow Thrasymachus's advice and pursue injustice, or follow the argument which is unfolding before us now, and pursue justice. Yes, he said, that's exactly what we have to do. All right, then. Shall we start by taking a look at the honour-loving regime timocracy, or timachy, followed by oligarchy? After that we can turn to democracy, and fourthly we can turn to the city which is ruled by a tyrant, and look at that. Will that be a way of trying to become competent judges of the question we have asked ourselves? It would certainly be a logical way of going about our observations and judgments. Very well. Let's try and describe the way in which timocracy might arise out of aristocracy. Is it a general rule that the cause of change in any regime is to be found in the sovereign body itself, when civil war arises within this group? That as long as this group, however small it may be, remains united, it is impossible for the regime to be altered? Yes, that's true. In that case, Glaucon, how will the regime of our city be altered? How will civil war break out, either between our auxiliaries and our rulers, or among them? Do you want us, like Homer, to invoke the Muses to tell us how first dissension fell upon them? Shall we imagine that they speak to us in high-flown, tragic tones, as if they were playing with little children, and teasing them by pretending to be speaking seriously? What would they say? Something like this. It is no easy matter for a city founded in this way to be altered, but since destruction awaits everything that has come to be, even a foundation of this kind will not survive for the whole of time. It will fall apart, and this will be the manner of its falling. Both for plants in the ground and for animals above the ground, it is a fact that souls and bodies are produced or not produced when the cycles of begetting for each species complete their revolutions. Short revolutions for short-lived species, and the opposite for long-lived species. In the case of your species, wise though the people you have educated as leaders of the city are, still they will not quite hit the mark when they apply calculation, together with observation, to their program of breeding and birth control. Success will elude them, and they will sometimes produce children they should not produce. When your guardians make injudicious unions of brides and grooms, the children will not have the right nature, and they will not be fortunate. The previous generation will select the best of them, but they will not deserve selection, and when they in their turn inherit the powers of their fathers, the first thing they will neglect as guardians will be us, the Muses, since they will put too low a value on musical and literary education. And the second thing they will neglect will be physical education. The result will be a younger generation which has even less regard for us, and from their number rulers will be appointed who completely lack a guardian's ability to discriminate between Hesiod's classes, or the classes in your city, gold, silver, bronze, and iron. When iron is compounded with silver, and bronze with gold, then you will get unlikeness and discordant inequality, and when you get those, wherever they occur, they always breed war and hostility. This is sedition's noble line, we have to say always, and wherever it arises. What else do the Muses have to say? When civil war breaks out, the classes or natures are divided into two. The iron and bronze draw the state towards commerce and the possession of land and housing, of gold and silver. The other pair, by contrast, the gold and silver, lead the state towards virtue and traditional order. In fighting and struggling against one another, they arrive at a compromise. The land and housing is to be divided up and owned privately, and they agree to enslave those who were previously watched over by them as free men, friends and providers. They now hold them as serfs and slaves, while their role is to watch them and conduct warfare. Yes, he said, I think that is the origin of this sort of change. In which case, I said, would this regime be a kind of halfway house between aristocracy and oligarchy? It certainly would. Very well. Will the points it has in common with the original regime be these: respect for the rulers, the disqualification of the warrior element in the state from agriculture, manual employment, or any other kind of business, the establishment of communal living quarters, and the concentration on physical education and training for war? Yes. Whereas fear of putting the wise into positions of power, since the wise men it has are now complex, not simple and direct any more, a leaning towards people who are spirited, more straightforward and naturally cut out for war rather than peace, the value it places on military deceptions and stratagems, the way it spends its entire time at war, will most of these characteristics be peculiar to itself? Yes. Now that they possess their own treasuries and strong rooms where they can put their gold and silver and keep it hidden, people like this will be avaricious, like the members of an oligarchy, with a fierce and secret passion for gold and silver. And to protect it all, they will have walls around their houses, real private nests where they can spend a fortune on women or anyone else they fancy. Very true, he said. The value they put on money and their inability to acquire it openly will make them mean with their own money, while their desires and the secret pleasures they enjoy will make them extravagant with other people's. They will run away from the law like children running away from their father, since their education will not have been a matter of conviction, but something imposed on them by force. This, in turn, is the result of neglecting the true muse, the muse of argument and philosophy, and setting a higher value on physical education than on education in the arts. It's certainly a mixed regime you are describing, partly bad and partly good. Yes, it is a mixture, I said, but it has one striking characteristic which comes from the dominance of the spirited element: love of victory and honour. Absolutely. So much for this regime, then. That's how it would have come into existence, and that's what it would be like. It's just an outline sketch of the regime without filling in the details, but even a sketch will give us a good enough picture of the completely just man and the completely unjust man. It's an impossibly long task to describe every regime and every character without leaving anything out. Quite right, he said. I imagine the next regime would be oligarchy, the regime based on property qualifications, where the rich rule and a poor man is
I know you're trying to 3-star Lucian, but you really gotta level up if you're gonna play Infinite Team. Then you should have leveled a long time ago. Can't be level 5. Definitely also need to slam your items. Give Twisted Fate Static Shiv. And also, you can just 3-star him right now. You have the champion duplicator on your bench. So, you should just do it right now. Just do it right now. Trust me. Bro. Who? Shen or Sivir? Don't do it. Don't go that. You already have the reroll. That's probably much better for you. Yes, you need to find Ezreal probably. I am also taking that. Pretty pog. Oh, fuck. Let's put Renegade in. Oops, time to take Silas out. Anthropomorph for views for Sasa. When's that? Alright, dude. Yeah, dude. Yep. There you go. Oh, anytime. That is a fair deal. Fair deal. Fair deal. Okay, what did I just say? Renegade needs to come out. Silasio. Silasio, my boy. My hombre. Can you do the Renegade? Huh? Huh? High-end shopping level 10? Anyone have thoughts? What's the level 11 shop odds? Because that's where I'm going. I gotta figure out what I can do here with the items given to me, I don't know, really anything. I don't really give a shit about my items, I guess. Let's take some more damage. Okay. Oh, nope. No, thank you. Built different, high-end shopping level up. That is exactly what that is. Pog, bro. Where's my, how do I get to my emotes? To any emotes. Yep. I mean, can't you put it in for Lucian right now? Oh, you want to use your preparation. Oh, I see. I guess. Yeah, I mean that's okay, I guess. Get it done now. I mean you're winning, so that's why it's okay probably, but well, you're winning because you're, I mean your twisted fate's actually huge. Never mind. The front line's good. Okay, my twisted fate beat his twisted fate. Oh no. Oh. Uh. Fiddlesticks teleports. Alright, when you do.
Is excluded from power. Do we have to explain whether that? Absolutely. So much for this regime, then. That's how it would have come into existence, and that's what it would be like. It's just an outline sketch of the regime without filling in the details, but even a sketch will give us a good enough picture of the completely just man and the completely unjust man. It's an impossibly long task to describe every regime and every character without leaving anything out. Quite right, he said. I imagine the next regime would be oligarchy, the regime based on property qualifications, where the rich rule and a poor man is excluded from power. Do we have to explain how the change from timachy to oligarchy first takes place? Yes. The regime we described is destroyed by the strong room full of gold which each man possesses. They start by inventing extravagances for themselves, and this leads them to bend the laws, since neither they nor their wives are prepared to obey them. That's likely enough. The next step, I suppose, will have been for them to start eyeing one another and competing with one another, and in this way they would reduce the whole population to their own level. Very likely. After that, presumably, they would become still further involved in making money, and the higher the value they put on that, the lower the value they would put on virtue. Isn't virtue always at odds with wealth in this way, as if they were in the two scales of a balance, always trying to move in opposite directions? Exactly, he said. And as wealth
Going
and
level
the
9.
wealthy are
Or
more
level
valued
10.
in the city, so goodness and the good are valued less. Obviously,
Going level 10.
what is valued at any particular time becomes the common practice. What is not valued
Where'd my
is
tube
neglected.
go? Oh, that's right. I put it
Yes.
into Twisted Fate.
Eventually, then, they stop being competitive and ambitious and...
Okay, I can't concentrate on this right now. Winning. Get back to that later. Sorry. Okay, put a bunch of units back into the pool. Holy smokes. Oh. Huh. Blitzkranke. Nope, I can never play that. Oh, but I can keep it on my bench, I guess. Uh, that's a 3-star ribbon. Holy moly. I am a robot. Hear me roar. I am a robot. Hear me roar. Yep. Getting those top 4s. Good job, Pops. Wait a minute. You're supposed to beat me? Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to backline him. But Infiniteam also really only gets like a top 2 if you get to 7 Infiniteam. So the fact that you got top 4 is great. It's really good. It is listed as S, but you kind of waffled and we're level 5 at 4-1. You were, yeah, I mean, the fact that you transitioned as soon as you did and decided to make that choice was actually really strong for you. It allowed you to get back into it. I think I don't think I would have realized that before that. I thought it would have been okay, but definitely wasn't. Well, shit. Yeah, fuck synergies. I'm a god. I'm Jesus Christ. So I was listening to Plato, The Republic. The Republic by Plato. You know what I'm saying? You know the great philosopher Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher? Well, I'm listening to an audiobook of The Republic, which is written by him. Yeah, well, yeah.
Maybe it's philosophy that'll finally kick you in the ass and ignite your engine and get you started.
Yeah, Plato, dude. They had Plato in ancient Greece. That's where it was invented. Okay, I should really be doing this. And that's fine. And I should econ a little better. Well, I can't really, I guess.
The game's over.
What the fuck? How is this guy so strong? What's a man gotta do to fucking live out here? Shroud, maybe?
Plenty warm in here now, huh?
Yeah, it's nice and comfortable. Thank God. I can put the blanket away. Yeah, I mean, I'm at just a really nice, easy. He 3-star MF. Oh no! Holy guaca cannolis, dude. That's not good. Hopefully my blitz doesn't get pulled or my Jin. It did. Of course it did. Fuck. That's Bolshevik. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to overcome. I'm gonna need the power of anime. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Sell, sell, sell. I'm taking less damage this round. This is good. My Leo can get the job done? Ugh. Only 12 taken. Excellent. So you're saying there's a chance. ASOL 3 snipe? Yeah, I don't have ASOL 3, bro. Ah! Indra, my queen! Do something. Throwing in the whole fucking board. Holy shit. What's happening? Am I Jesus Christ or am I Jesus Christ? Woo! She literally just grabbed the whole board and fucking... I was like, alright, I'll just use these 3 units. It's like, no, I should have just put in 5 units at once instead. Holy shit. Abraham. Bro, after a win like that, you're top 4ing though.